So here we go, the action coming from York Hall. We have in the black and Union Jack shorts, one Chris Wood, all the way from Middlesbrough, 3 bouts under his belt. He's won 2 of them, up against Mata Sambu, a young man from Margate via Senegal, and a young man that, by the way, I have seen plenty of in the past. So Mata Sambu, the southpaw, in the leopard skin shorts. And a very heavy puncher as well, Sambu. And Chris Wood was telling me a wee bit earlier, his only defeat in this record came when he boxed in Glasgow. And by all accounts, that was a pretty poor decision. He lost on a split. So this one's scheduled for 4 2-minute rounds, but I kind of get the impression that we'll get the full 4 out of this. Although having said that, you know, as I say, Sambu's a big hitter. And he's always on a search and destroy mission, Mata Sambu. Although having said that, when I've seen him before, it's been at a lower level than this. Chris Wood's a decent fighter. Nice right uppercut there from Wood. And I've got to say also, in this opening round anyway, it looks like Sambu may have been slightly busier, slightly more effective, but there's not a great deal in this. Referee for this one, Ken Curtis. Only his score will count. My opinion doesn't. Swiping right hook there from Sambu. Took a right hand, no, back from Wood. Once again, nice left cross there from Mata Sambu. So, end of the first round, and I'm pretty sure that one may have gone Sambu's way. So a 10-9 round for him. This is indeed round 2. So just a reminder once again, Chris Wood in the black and red, Union Jack shorts in action here against Mata Sambu. And first round, I believe, has gone Sambu's way. But of course, it's not down to me. And I said previously that Sambu is a heavy puncher. There's no doubt about that. But it all depends on the level, of course, that you're boxing at. And he's up against a decent fighter here in Chris Wood. And I suspect, you know, Sambu's going to get something of a shock when he realises, I hit this guy with some really good shots and he's still there. Because, you know, when you fight at a certain level, you do expect them to go. But that's not happened here so far. Switch to southpaw now from Woods. Now, often that confuses the fighter that switches more than the opponent. But of course, it looks like Chris Wood's pretty good at it. That's obviously got Mata Sambu thinking. So we've got an all-southpaw match on our hands now. Although, once again, Wood switches back to orthodox. Took a right hook there for his trouble. And a decent crowd here at the York Hall. Well, once again, a very tight round, but... oh, nice right hook there again from Sambu. You know, the problem is, for Chris Wood, you know, he's in the fight, there's no doubt about that. But, you know, just a punch or two away from victory. So far, that is. Stiff jab there again from Mata Sambu, known as the Senegal Tiger. Oh, well, that was interesting. Well, I don't think that was a punch that put Sambu off balance. So Chris Wood now beginning to feel a bit better about himself here.
Hello, welcome to ABC Sports on Ben Television. I'm Ali Shokwelajide, sitting in for Chris Obukwelu, who's away on assignment. And yes, you have joined ABC Sports on Ben Television. I know you were having a little look at boxing there, courtesy of Wise Guys Promotions. Keep it on Ben Television, because we will be getting some more boxing, courtesy of Wise Guys Promotions, into the studio really soon, and you can catch it on TV as well. Well, we're going to be talking a lot of sports, but before we get into all of that, let's start from the boxing. And I'm joined in the studio by two men from Wise Guys Promotions. In, of course, our friend Sunday Ukuma, the director of commercials and the chairman of Wise Guys Promotions himself, Mr. Mark Lyons. Thank you guys for joining us.
Great to be here.
We were just having a look at a couple, swings, let's put it that way, from one of your events that's been put up. Let's start simply by talking about Wise Guys Promotions. From what I know, it was an organization that started with MMA, but now has moved into boxing.
Yeah, it started about 5 years ago in MMA under the guise of BCFA, which was the British Cage Fighting Association. We then moved into boxing about 3 years ago. Wise Guys Promotions was formed, and we are now the biggest, most successful promoter under the BIBA in the country, with 4 to 5 events at York Hall every year, usually sold out, and very popular with the public. So yeah, we've done fairly well. We're now putting on this event at the Palace Theatre in Clapham.
That's the next up and coming. That's
it
the
is,
next
yes, the grand
event on the 30th of October, if I'm correct.
That's correct. Yeah. It's the Commonwealth Trophy.
Wow. Team
GB versus Team Africa, which is why we're here with Ben TV, who are covering it kindly. And I just want to say a quick hello to my brother and sister-in-law who watch this program every week. They love it. And
that's fantastic.
They like Chris a lot better than you.
Actually. I know. So Chris needs to come back quick.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, that's where we're at the moment.
You know, that's fantastic. Sunday, you work in terms with working for an organizations like Wise Guys Promotions. You look at commercials and having how to get, you know, the organization out there a little bit more. Talk us through your role.
Well, to be honest, I mean, what Wise Guy has done so far, especially in the field of boxing, you know, especially, I mean, one thing I love Mark has done so far was taking the boxing show, especially to African. Yeah. Because for a long time, we did know basically that the Africans is capable of producing one champion. Because I remember a few days ago, we were sitting down and he was a little bit concerned that we've seen all titles being, you know, taken by other, you know, other nations, other continent, but no, in terms of welterweight, you know, down to middleweight, heavyweight, and all of that, and no African champion, you know, for the past, should I say 10 or more than 10 years.
Why do you think that is?
It's because of what we're just saying, the attention, the facilities, and the boxing has, you know, it's not something big in Africa. But we do know basically there are a few Africans too who are very passionate about boxing. But just the attention has not been given. We haven't created, you know, this big attention hasn't been created. And that's what we're doing right now is going to catch that wide audience, just like what Nollywood has done now, that, you know, in the world of, you know, in terms of film industry, the same thing we want to create in boxing, because football is huge now in Africa. That we got so many stars.
But it's interesting because I grew up on several boxing superstars, you know, coming out of, you know, Ghana, coming out of Nigeria, and we all continuously had top 10 world-class boxers in possibly every weight class from middleweight up.
The problem is, Eddie, there's been no investment into boxing in Africa. If you have a look at the fighters of African descent that have been successful, there's a lot, but they're trained and schooled in boxing in Europe or America. Why there's no Nigerian or Ghanaians that are in the top 3, 4 or even 5 in the world rankings is because the facilities are lacking and the training is lacking. And we hope to be part of putting that right. We know that the raw materials are there. We know that they've got great boxers, but they need to be schooled in nutrition to build up stamina, technique.
Gyms also.
Yes,
facilities and stuff.
Yeah, the facilities have to be developed. It's that simple. And investment is what's needed by the government or private entrepreneurs because the returns can be huge.
Now, one of the very interesting things, you are on to Ben Television, ABC Sports. I'm Aisha Kwelaje, sitting in for Chris Obukwelu, joined in here by Wise Guys Promotions, Sunday Okuma and Mark Lyon of Wise Guys Promotions. One of the interesting things about what you guys are doing, especially the upcoming event on the 30th of October, is the fact that you mentioned the team, you know, Europe and Africa. Is it?
Team GB against
Team GB and
Yes.
Team Africa. Now, these type of competitions opens the door to bringing in more raw talent from across the African continent.
Absolutely.
And how do you intend to get the best quality fighters out there as well?
Well, we have contacts in Nigeria and Ghana. Also, we're in contact with the Olympic teams. So we can pick and choose a little bit who comes here to fight our fighters. We are going to put on a great show. We've got subsidised prices. Ticket prices are ridiculously cheap. We're selling the standard tickets for £20 and VIP for £40, which nowadays is nothing for a good evening's entertainment. We've got full supporting undercard. We've got singers, etc., by courtesy of 360 Valentine. I think you know him. And it should be a great evening.
And then you mentioned the fact that the ticket prices are affordable, because ticket prices for boxing events, especially here in Britain, is absolutely phenomenal, through the roof. So how, you know, pricing at £20 and £40, it looks like you really want to target anybody that's just looking for a good night's entertainment.
We want people to come out, have a great evening out, appreciate the boxing, but also have a great night of entertainment. It's live entertainment. It's an atmosphere that, unless you actually go to boxing, you never know what that atmosphere is like.
And prior to, you know, what you said earlier about the ticket and from £20 to £40, the reason why we've made it so, you know, affordable is we want people, just like I said about creating that awareness, we want boxing to be huge so that people can afford it, so no one could give excuses to say, oh, it's too expensive. So we made it so easy for anyone to come on that night to support Africa, because we want to make boxing, we want to take boxing to the next level, just like how it is here in Europe, America. We want to make it like that in Africa. And that's why we said, we discussed with Mark, I said, listen, we need to take the price down so anyone can afford it. So this time around, no one has any reason to give excuses about the prices being so expensive. So
you also spoke about where people can go and get the tickets. If I'm not wrong, correct me, Mark, it is wiseguyspromotions.com. It's as simple as ABC. Or you can give us a phone call here at Ben Television, 0208 808 0693 if you want more information about where to get the tickets for the Wise Guys Promotions event taking place on the 30th of October 2016. Team GB against Team Africa. I know where I'm putting my talents. Definitely.
Trust me, it's going to be a big showdown. I mean, that no one had ever said before. Because this is the only time we are bringing in fighters from Africa to the UK. And the good thing again is going to be televised, and the media coverage is going to be Ben TV, which I reckon is number one.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
Exactly. So I do believe so. Anywhere you are actually watching this program, please do remember this is a big showdown. Team GB versus Team Africa boxing showdown.
Speaking about boxing showdowns, it will be wrong of me to have people like yourselves in the building and not speak about the last 7 days in the world of boxing, which has seen the incredible Super Kell Brook take on the mastermind himself in Triple G, Gennady Golovkin. It was a knockout in the 5th round, or shall I say a stoppage by Kell Brook's coach, throwing in the towel.
I think he did the right thing.
What did you think about the fight in general, Mark, and what the coach did at the end of it, even though a lot of people were happy?
I think Kell Brook was very, very brave to take on Golovkin, a serious fighter. Although in that fight he did show that he was actually human, and possibly it may have given a few of the other top fighters some sort of just a hint of how to beat him.
Yeah.
His upper body movement wasn't great. He took a lot of shots from Kell Brook.
Yeah.
Brook was brave. I mean, he was fighting with a broken eye socket in the end. And again, he's fighting well out of his weight. So he's a welterweight.
2 weight levels up.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly.
Two weight level.
Even if you put the weight on, it doesn't mean you're a middleweight. He's trained all his life and was a world champion at welterweight.
Yeah.
So he was stepping up. I think it was a bit of a big ask.
And what are your thoughts about Triple G and the way he performed as well?
We know Triple G is a heavy hitter and also a monster, as people describe him. And Kell Brook going into that fight, to be honest, I give Kell Brook, he fought his heart. He fought like a warrior. But I mean, like most people say, being upset about the towel. Obviously, I mean, it does happen in a fight. When there's an injury, you can't carry on. I mean, he lived to fight another day.
Absolutely.
I mean,
nobody knows their fighters
better than. I mean, if you look at it, Kell Brook he would like to die in the ring. Just to tell you that for pride, because that's Kell Brook. You'd rather kill him before. He's not a quitter. But his fighters, listen. He needs to save his, apart from career this time, he needs to save him. Yeah. His life. I mean, Kell Brook is coming back to the ring again. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Gennady Golovkin is not a man that you could just, fight with such an injury, because he's gonna damage you at the end of the day. Yeah. It's gonna be coming. And I watched that fight, and even before the towel, I called a friend of mine. I said, listen, can they stop this fight? This fight needs to be stopped, because I've been watching boxing, and I know. When the guy is hurt. And I know, because I could see Kell Brook was looking on the floor. I mean, when you see a guy looking at the canvas, you know something is wrong. And like you said, his trainer knows exactly my fighter is in trouble. People don't know. I mean, fans are,
you just want to see the blows.
Just like days of, the Roman amphitheater, where the people are so happy to see blood. For blood. So, but I mean, he needs to live to fight another day. I think he did the right thing.
And I think the announcement 24 hours later that it was going into pretty much a surgery to repair the eye socket, and perhaps will be out of boxing for the next 4 or 5 months, just shows the amount of damage and hurt that he was in.
In boxing, the major concern is the boxer's safety. At any level, from kids, amateurs to professionals, it's very, very important. The most important thing is the safety of the boxer. And it's the trainer and the referee's job to stop any boxer getting severely hurt. And I think it was a great decision to throw in the towel. Anybody that says it wasn't is a fool, quite honestly. If they're baying for blood, then they should go to a blood sport, not to boxing. It's a noble art, and it should be kept that way.
Absolutely. Speaking about noble art and should be kept that way, you have been promoting boxing for quite some time. What exactly drew you to boxing and pulled you out of the arms of MMA?
I've always loved boxing. I actually boxed as a kid as well, and I never, even though I was involved with MMA, I never really liked it. I didn't get any joy watching two grown men roll around on the floor. It was great when they stood up and fought, but for me, boxing is the sport to go into, and it's my own personal choice. Yeah, I just love the sport.
Absolutely. And final words for our Ben Television viewers that will be checking out the Wise Guys promotions 30th of October 2016. Anything you'd like to say again, more information for them?
To be honest, I would say for you asking for the people.
Yeah,
or, yeah.
for the
I mean,
viewers.
for the viewers. I mean, I just want, especially the African viewers, please. We needed to support this show because we want to create boxing. We want boxing to be huge. I mean, don't get me wrong. We do know people Africans have been passionate about boxing, but we want to make it huge.
It's very important, Eddie, just to mention that we've pre-sold probably 400 to 500 tickets to the English GB supporters.
Wow.
So
we need the loud voice.
We need a loud voice of
Africans,
Africans to support your team. Phone up, get on the website, buy your tickets. Don't miss this great event.
Simple as ABC, wiseguyspromotions.com for more information. Tickets to the event on the 30th of October 2016. Team GB versus Team Africa. I'm putting a little bit more emphasis on where I will be supporting. Thanks to Mark Lyons and, of course, Sunday Okuma for joining us in the studio. Keep it here on ABC Sports on Ben Television. We're taking a break. Now, we will see you in a few.
So here we go then, round three. This is the halfway point. Just reminding Chris Wood coming out of the blue corner, up against Mata Sambu here. And, you know, my opinion is that Sambu possibly has taken the first couple, but, you know, you could make a case for round two being reasonably level. Both had their moments. And tonight's show under the auspices of the Maltese Boxing Commission. And plenty of big shots there, but plenty of misses too. And Wood still looks very relaxed. Nothing particularly urgent about what he's doing. And maybe that might go against him. Oh, nice left hook there from Wood. And again, a decent shot there from Chris Wood. And he's doing his utmost here to try and confuse Mata Sambu. Well, they're both getting through some pretty lusty shots here in the third. Well, once again, another very tight round between these two men. Well, sharp right there from Wood, but he took a right hook back. And a left hook. Well, decent bit of work there from Chris Wood. Now, this is one of those rounds where I believe Chris Wood has done sufficient to be nicking it. Nice body shot there from Wood as well. Well, Wood's certainly doing the better the work. Has Sambu run out of ideas? Oh, goodness me, lovely uppercut there. That one's really hurt him. Good uppercut there from Chris Wood. Now Sambu was hurt. Well, he's hanging on here, trying to survive. And there's the bell. And it's come just at the right time for Mata Sambu. who loses round 3. So can Matar Sambu keep himself out of bother here in the 4th and final round? There's no doubt about it that Wood knows that he hurt Sambu. The right uppercut. And I suppose one of the big questions really is, has Sambu recovered sufficiently in the corner in that 1 minute's rest? Now, it's interesting, if our referee, Ken Curtis, has scored round 2 level and Wood wins this last round, there's every chance he'll win the fight. Well, now, I'll tell you what, they're both going for it, aren't they? Wood looks like he thinks he's got more to do. That right uppercut has eluded Wood so far. He knows it was a cracking shot at the end of the previous round, but failed to land it so far here in the 4th. And this is a tough fight for Matar Sambu, just what he needs. Well, signs of fatigue here now for Sambu. Of course, we'll get the decision immediately. And there's very little between them in this final round. And, you know, it could end up all even, couldn't it? Well, a couple of good thumps there from Matar Sambu. It's been a tough fight, this one. I thought it would be. Well, the bell's about to sound to end the 4th and final round. Where will he go? Well, once again, Sambu hangs on. Well, virtually nothing in the round.
At the end of 4 half round of boxing, we have a decision of 39 points to 37 in favour of Chris Wood. And then some show appreciation from the man, Matar Sambu.
Welcome back to ABC Sports on Ben Television. I'm Advert sitting in for Chris Obikwelu. As always, you can